Hi guys, it's Seema and Gaddy, and happy Friday. Yay, we made it. So I wanted to jump on and I wanted to talk with you guys about a really amazing adventure that's coming up here. Hi Jill. And I actually want to have Jill, let's see here, invite her to this broadcast so we can chat with you together. So very exciting technology, Facebook. Let's see. We're
Hi.
connecting. Yay! Hi, Jill. This is fun. This is awesome. So it's
Perfect.
like this Facebook duo. So yay, yay, yay. Welcome, welcome. So this is exciting. So this is Jill. Jill is my BFF, and she's also an international speaker, recovery coach, startup consultant, and you got the top 40 under 40 entrepreneur award. You are a rock star, I think a passionate entrepreneur who loves to just start her own businesses and help people overcome. And this past year, you've gone on so many cool adventures with all of your retreats. So can you share a little bit about your retreats and how that has changed the direction a little bit for you this past year?
Yeah, good morning. Thank you. So in the last year, I have run about 8 retreats for women in recovery. And the first one I ran, I thought would be women just like me who were coming out of addictions and wanted to get away and have a girls' weekend and just look at some of the things in their life and see what could be transformed. And from there, it grew and it grew, and more than 70 women came through 8 retreats on the last year. And June 9th,
Wow,
10th,
really?
and 11th is going to be the last one of this year because I've booked up with corporate for the fall.
Totally.
So,
And they all
yeah,
sold out last year, right?
they were full. So, I like to say that they were exactly as they needed to be. Some were at capacity, we can have 16 people, and then others were smaller, and it was exactly who needed to be there. And sometimes the small groups have just as much growth as the larger ones in a very different way. So that was amazing to explore also.
That's so cool. So I'm really excited because this June, so June 9th to 11th, right?
Yeah.
Jill has asked me to co-facilitate with her to talk about grief recovery. So we're going to talk a little bit about recovery and the different types of recovery, because I think sometimes there's a little bit of stigma, and there's also sort of a small purview of what people think recovery is. So can you chat a little bit about what recovery means to you and who are these retreats for?
Yeah, this has been a learning curve for me also because thankful for the women over at She Recovers out in Victoria. And Dawn Nickel and her daughter, Taryn Strong, started She Recovers, and I was inspired by them. And they shaped the We're All in Recovery theme and term, and I have joined that. So we're all in recovery from something. And that's their language. And it's true. You know, women who have come on these retreats have experienced grief, loss of people, places, things, lifestyles, identity. I know that when I came out of the alcohol addiction 11 years ago, I didn't know who I was. And it was about recrafting who I was. Then I had my kids. I lost identity again. I didn't know who I was. I switched careers, reshaping the identity. So lots of women who have come find the gift in this opportunity to sit and reflect and go into who they are. Also, recovery has been people from diseases. So we've had people in active chemo and cancer remission come. We've had people work through other diseases that are inflammatory or dietary, and they're going through a change of lifestyle. We've had people come who have lost other people, and the loss of spouse, being widowed, loss of family members to addictions, having family members incarcerated or in treatment centers, or just being off the path that they knew. That was a huge thing. And so recovery is however you identify it, however you define it for yourself. I know your connection to the word also has brought about something. So why don't you tell me how you've related to it also?
Yeah, so I love the word recovery because it gives me so much hope that we can recover from the things that have devastated
Yeah.
us, you know, and I find it to be such a promising word, such a hopeful word. And for myself, I'm recovering from grief and trauma, right? So growing up, you know, in the way that I did and witnessing a murder and having to be in foster care and losing a lot of the people, places, and things and hopes and opportunities, you know, losing my culture that I was raised with, losing languages and the food and the places and the people. So that, you know, we don't really acknowledge that enough, that those types of things cause deep grief within us when we have forced changing of, you know, even if you had to sell your house, kids experience grief from moving and from changing schools. And so I think every human being experiences grief from, you know, a small age. And so I work a lot with the grief recovery aspect, as you know, and this past year I've really dedicated a lot of my life to that. And so it's really exciting to team up with you and talk about all types of recovery and really open it up to all the different human experiences that women are having at this time.
Yeah, and you really highlighted the word at the bottom of it, hope. We start with hope that we can re-find ourselves, reconfigure our lives, re-identify with the, you know, soul voice, the soul journey. And sometimes that takes a little bit more of clinical work to push through. So we have Katie Turner also coming. She does the psychology of trauma. We have Jane Sweetland coming to do yoga for trauma, just getting us back into our bodies to feel again some of that we've numbed out. And then the work is around forgiveness. In the programs I'm familiar with, the 12-step model, the private practice, the clinical that I go through with my behavior modification therapist is about forgiveness and self-forgiveness. So I know you created a program called Fierce Forgiveness, and you're going to be touching on that. Can you share a little bit about that program too?
Yes. So forgiveness is like one of my favorite things on the whole planet. I know you know that. And I created this course, Fierce Forgiveness, so that I'm gonna launch it. It's gonna be an online course, but I'm gonna have our group for June really touch it for the first time in person. And I've created this program to help people understand that we can overcome and that we can recover, right? Because I think a lot of times these devastating things happen to us and we think like, oh, fuck, we're screwed. This is all that's, you know, we're stuck with this devastation and that's it, right? And I think, you know, I created this program so that people can understand that there is actually a process to recovering. There's actually a process to forgiveness. And through the forgiveness of ourselves and others and the experiences, we come to an acceptance of what is, and we come to possibility. So through hope, we come to possibility for what can be. And so I want to help women to restructure the way that they're thinking about their loss of any kind, right? Loss of identity, loss of hopes and dreams. Like we said, if you're in an addiction, you know, loss of who you were when you were the party girl, right? Who you were when you were an addict. And that's a huge component of this transformation and that you work with a lot, right? So I created this program to help people overcome, to understand forgiveness and be able to practice it, because it is a deep and profound practice that we come to every single day, right? And so to make it kind of like a muscle that we flex, a forgiveness muscle.
Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to the retreat. I'll just give some more details. So it's Friday, June 9th until Sunday, June 11th. We're in Field, BC, which is just about a 2.5-hour drive from Calgary. It's west on the Trans-Canada Highway, and then it's a left turn into the town of Field, population 170 people. You won't be able to miss the hostel that we're staying in, which is a luxury hostel. I rent out the entire thing, and it's a safe space for us. So our food is all catered by the local company, the Siding Cafe. It's plant-based. We can accommodate any of your dietary needs. So if you're sugar-free, gluten-free, dairy-free, all of that's possible. So every meal is catered, and we come together and we workshop through. We're going to go walk around Emerald Lake, which is now open, clear of the avalanche path. And we go do some work in the forest also. And the whole basis to us being out there is the model I crafted around the program Roots, which is now gotten approval to become a not-for-profit program moving forward. And we go into the forest because what I observed is nothing in the forest lives without part of the forest dying. And we have to connect with that parts of ourselves, parts of our stories, parts of our past have to die off. and it becomes the fertilizer. It becomes the
I love
nutrient for new
that.
growth. Yeah, so then we regenerate, we renew, we recreate ourselves through this in the forest. You know, out there we've seen the herds of elk, the mountain sheep, lots of deer. Black bear last year jumped out on our walk around Emerald Lake, but we're safe. We're with safe people, and we've got this covered. So come see all of this with us. And we have a few seats left, and it's $600 for the weekend, and that includes everything, your accommodation, your lodging. The hostel has like great duvets and all the beds are set up. It's all your food and the workshops and materials and the yoga classes, everything. So.
And all the food and everything. And this is a luxury hostel. So this for anyone that's
it's gorgeous.
Like, it's stunning. It's in this gorgeous place. The lake is right there. I am not an ew kind of person, so I'm really excited that it's a luxury hostel. It's gorgeous. We will create this sacred space together and really bask in sisterhood for the weekend. And you're going to meet people that will completely transform your life, that you will probably make friends with for the rest of your life. Like Jill and I met years ago at something similar at an event like this, where really a lot of amazing people come together. We're spirit junkies, and we met and just instantly clicked. So this is how you can meet your soul sisters for life, people who are experiencing the same experiences as you and that understand you and actually get you, because it's very frustrating when you're recovering from anything, that you feel that you're isolated and alone. And I love that you've created these retreats to actually bring people together, women that can see that they're not alone, that they can actually associate with other people that are just like them. And really, how wonderful is that, and for the human condition, to know that you are not alone, that there are many people who feel just like you, and you can heal together.
Yeah, and this is borrowed from another program, but we focus on the similarities, not the differences. And we all tap into the way that we felt has been the same, while none of our experiences at all are the same. None of us have the same traumatic past. None of us have the same experiences. None of us have the same kind of loss or grief or identity crisis, but we have felt the same, and we come together on that common ground and we grow from there. We don't stay in it. There's not a lot of time to stay in it. We're going to push through right away. Yeah.
Overcome it, right? And I think that's so beautiful, because we are unique and individual. And when we talk grief, I always tell people, like, you're unique and individual. We can't compare your grief to anyone else, and you can't compare your recovery process to anyone else. It's going to look different for you, even if it was the same substance or the same death or the same thing. Two people who lose the same human being will feel completely different, because we're all unique and individual, and we experiencing things from our own soul center, right?
Yeah. The motherhood experience is a huge one, especially as the kids age. And then on the same scale, for those who don't have kids, there's this growth and awareness that comes through. And we found so many similarities in that: the addiction path, the disease path, and just the loss of self. So we invite you to come and join us. I'm going to put a link in the comments below to more information on it, and then how to sign up. And you can just click and sign up right away and claim that seat.
Amazing. So all your food's included, all the accommodation. We're going to go to a beautiful, gorgeous space just outside of Calgary. It's going to be so much fun, so much transformation and sisterhood. And this is a female-only event. This
one is, we're going to do co-ed and men's in the fall, but this one is women only.
This is a female-only event, just for the guys. There's something coming for you from Jill later.
Yeah, there is.
Okay, awesome. This is so good. So thank you so much. We're going to keep this short and sweet. You're going to put some information below in the links, and you can check out your website. Go to and book today. That's $600 for the whole weekend, food and everything included, and all these amazing experts are coming. Yoga, we got really healthful food and soulful sisterhood. So it sounds fantastic. If anyone has any questions, you can reach out to me, where I am, and Jill. She's going to put her information in the comments. So you can ask Jill any questions, and we hope to see you there.
I'm around all day for any questions. Yeah.
Yay! Thank
you for having me on.
Love you. Have a good day.
See you there.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye.